Mountainous and serene, it rises from the Irish Sea. But today, the Isle of Man, even with income tax at 4 and 3 in the pound, is taking a hard look at its future. Behind it is more than 1,000 years of history. The first bearded Vikings came here to burn and pillage, to carry off loot and Celtic maidens. And still they come, but with a difference. The age-old invasion is reenacted every summer, and a good time seems to be had by all. But now, like many other places, the Isle of Man faces tougher economic conditions. It can either go on as a quaint and rather popular holiday resort with a declining permanent population, or go all out to establish itself as a major tourist attraction of the British Isles with a solid backing of light industry. This island, which is the oldest continuous democracy in the world and is self-supporting, has made its decision. New projects will not interfere with the ancient system of government, the Tynwald, or National Assembly, which takes place every summer in the heart of the island. There goes the Lieutenant Governor, followed by the Lord Bishop of Sodor and Man. He's the island's last remaining baron. And now the first Deemster reads all the acts which Tynwald has passed in the last 12 months. Well, since all acts are notoriously long-winded, only the titles are read out. Everybody is supposed to know what's in them. Nobody wants to see the end of another survival from the past, the famous horse-drawn trams along the 2-mile Douglas front. Holidaymakers love them. But there were many fewer holidaymakers in 1962, 74,000 fewer than in 1961. The Isle of Man, like other British resorts, has felt the increasing impact of holidays abroad, so new attractions are being planned. To attract the big spenders, Tynwald has given the go-ahead for a casino. And here, near the famous Villa Marina, the island's big pleasure centre, officials inspect a possible site. Years ago, this giant wheel pumped water from the island's lead and silver mines, but they are no longer worked. The fishing industry has slumped too. But when Peter Scott was made Admiral of the Manx fishing fleet, the industry got a fresh boost. The new Admiral gets his very legal-looking certificate. Then a stream of boats puts to sea with the Admiral's flag flying. The Manx emblem is lowered, the sign of the 3 legs of man known all over the world, which has its origins in Scandinavia and Sicily. But if the islanders have their way, that emblem will also fly over new light industries which will attract skilled workers to the holiday isle. If the island wants money for its common purse, the Lord Bishop wants it for a very different object, but one which will also attract more tourists. He is after £70,000 to restore the 1,500-years-old Cathedral of St. Germanus at Peel on the west coast. It stands inside the sombre walls of Peel Castle, which was built round it 4 centuries later. Three previous attempts at restoration failed, but this time a big effort is being made. The bishop, having a look at the archaeologists at work, says the cathedral will be the church's answer to the casino, which he doesn't think will be quite the success its supporters claim. Meanwhile, Manx men all over the world are contributing to put a roof on Britain's oldest cathedral and bring it back to its full glory. Nearly everybody who visits the Isle of Man makes the Sunday pilgrimage to Kirkbraden. Here, for 106 years, an open-air service has been held every Sunday from Whitsun to mid-September. And the bishop makes his way up the hill to preach to one of the biggest open-air congregations in the world. As many as 30,000 people pack the green slope on a sunny day to listen to him. The island, 30 miles long and 10 miles wide, has a central valley which the Manx call the Plains of Heaven. But it's the coastal resorts the holidaymakers know best. The Douglas Promenade, with its long rows of Edwardian-fronted hotels and boarding houses, has a nostalgic look of yesterday, but the island government is lending money to give them a modern facelift. Here's one that hardly needs it. The elegant hotel owned and run by the man who may be the most famous racing motorcyclist of all time, Jeff Duke. Welcoming a guest and drawing pints behind the bar puts Jeff in a role vastly different from the one the TT fans know best, screaming down the mountainside at 150 miles an hour. 6 times world champion, Jeff Duke now rides only in trials, but one of the hotel rooms contains the trophies he won in 10 years at the top, all 200 of them. And now, from the fury of the TT to the sweep of the mountain ranges and on down to a scene of ancient peace. It brings us to St. Trinian's. Yes, there really is a St. Trinian's, only it's a church, not a school, and a church without a roof. Long ago, one of the little people, whom some Manx still believe in, blew it off, so they say, and nobody today would dream of putting it back. One thing nobody seems to know is why Manx cats have no tails. They fetch quite a price, especially in America, and the government even has a cattery to make sure that tailless Manx cats are duly married to other tailless Manx cats. But the marriage which now concerns the 48,000 islanders is a marriage with more tourists, more light industries, and more people to live on the island. And the next few years could be decisive.